Merci beaucoup.
Happy Sailiversary!
Happy Sailboat.
It's our Sailiversary. Grab a sundowner and meet us on the deck.
Okay, buddy. Come on. Yeah, just sit right there.
All right, 2 years of sailing, 4 countries.
Over 10,000 nautical miles.
Yeah.
You would have told us we'd be sitting here saying that 2 years ago?
ago?
Yeah, we have said you're crazy.
Maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I
Who
don't know.
knows? But here we are.
Here we are. So cheers.
Cheers.
2 years of being sailors.
Exactly. Ooh, that's nice.
It's very good.
I'll make sure she puts the recipe on the website. It's super difficult.
They just watched me make it. The purpose of sitting down was, one, we wanted to celebrate with you.
Yes.
Because, well, you've kind of been a part of
A big part.
all of it.
Yeah, but we've hit so many milestones this year. Things that we've learned, like it's just
been a lot.
yeah, blow your mind or blow our mind kind of learning experience this past year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're sitting here,
Yeah.
not just for sundowners.
Well, that too. All right. I'm going to have to refer to the notes
Yes.
because, yeah, I had to organize our thoughts so we didn't ramble too much. I still make no guarantees.
The very first thing is passage making.
Yes. Well, hold on. Let's back up.
Oh.
For anybody that doesn't know the story, we started out with 0 sailing experience.
I can count on my one hand, maybe how many times we've been on a sailboat.
So we actually bought a boat before we knew how to sail it. Here we go. This boat is, well, sounds perfect on paper. Bought the boat in May of 2016. Signed up for sailing classes in June, so exactly this time 2 years ago, we were in sailing school, most likely either studying for or
taking a test. Darn, thought I had 100. Thought for sure. Okay.
You passed.
Yeah, I thought I had 100. Apparently I got 2 wrong.
That's okay, I got 2 wrong too.
Yeah, but I thought you would get a couple wrong.
Oh!
It's official.
There you go. All right, so Nikki,
Okay.
I'll give that to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jason, congratulations.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
This is the date where we got our certifications and we're officially allowed to sail our own vessel.
And that's why we say it's our Sailiversary, because that's the first day that we were truly sailors.
Yeah, that we felt like.
Yeah.
Today is kind of a big day because it's our very first solo trip. Like just Jason and I, nobody else on board. We're all on our own. We sailed around Florida, around the Bahamas.
What do you think?
I think it's beautiful. We made it. We are in the Exumas. Did a ton of maintenance.
Ton of maintenance and service work and learning the ropes of boat maintenance and parts and engine work and all that jazz.
Spent a lot of time with Kent and just catamarans.
Quick, lock it. Put something in front of it.
Oh, what a joker.
All the stuff we learned then has helped us out now. Tremendous.
Times 10. So at the end of that year, our Sailiversary, for the 1 year Sailiversary, we filmed in the Bahamas just before we were about to cross to Florida.
This time last year, we were focused on moving all of our stuff out of the RV and into this boat, which we had just signed the papers on and had no idea how to sail.
Set sail back across the Gulf Stream to Florida to retrofit our boat. Like, it was set up really well for coastal cruising, but it was not set up for passage making. For the price of servicing this one, which is now 10 years old and has been expired for a couple years, would be about the same price as buying this one brand new. That is why we got a new life raft.
Right, so there were still a last few things on our to-do list, and some of them even left over, like the rigging that we hadn't done from our survey.
Initial survey, yeah.
And that is the scoop. You can see all of that
Documented
on our sailing
in
page.
beautiful HD video.
except for
All
this
my
one.
cursing.
So then that picks up this year.
Yeah.
For this second year of being sailors. We started off again in Florida.
2 months in service, prepping the boat,
Yep.
and then
You're gonna miss us, you know you are.
Oh, gee. We're gonna miss you.
I know.
Unbelievably, we will miss you.
all right, good.
We'll survive.
Thank you.
Ticket.
Are you all teary-eyed too?
And then set sail for our
For
first
Panama.
passage, our first big offshore passage, and that was to Panama.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the idea of passage making was like our biggest thing for this year. We took on 3 big passages, and prior to that we had done nothing more than the Bahamas, and
Yeah.
everything is just like an overnight
Day sail, overnight sail, pretty simple stuff.
Yes, we hadn't really spent a whole lot of time. I mean, we've spent time at sea, but not multi-day passages. So we went from no passages to 3 big ones in 1 year.
We also did something else different this year as we brought on crew.
Yeah.
So for that first big passage, we brought on 2 patrons, Dale and Justin. You'll remember them from some of the videos.
Hello! I'm Justin.
I'm Dale. And
And
they had
knew zero about
sailing. They knew as much as we did when we started.
which was cool because we welcomed them with open arms and we taught them everything we possibly could.
In the time frame when they were employed. Yeah, so it's great, and they definitely caught the sailing bug. They were in it just like that. So they were great. We had a really good time. That was our passage to Panama, which was a total, we really stretched that one out.
Yeah.
Total of 18 days for our 1,600 nautical miles,
Yes.
but that's because we had fun and did a little island hopping in the Bahamas on the way. It's goodbye Bahamas, hello Panama. So the goal is make a straight shot, and it will be our longest sail ever, longest passage ever. And then did the larger leap, which was, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days at sea. Maybe
5
it's 5
days,
or, oh, I
6
guess maybe
days, 7
6.
days. I don't remember. I have to go back and
I'd
watch
have
the
to
video.
reference the video. Maybe it was 6 days.
Felt like 6 days or 7 days. The next big milestone, we brought in 2 crew members and my mom for our Panama Canal transit.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun. This is my mom.
Hi.
Of course, you know Nikki.
That's Nikki.
This is
John. Peter.
the RV Geeks.
Yeah.
And it was something I was dreading. I don't know, I'd watched so many videos and thought, well, that looks boring. And people are like, well, it's just government.
Well, or it
like,
seemed difficult.
yeah.
They were like it was going to be a lot of bureaucracy or challenging, and I don't know. And there was bureaucracy, but it was so organized.
Yeah, I loved
It
it.
was easy.
Yes, we just paid our money and we're ready to transit the canal.
So we had a really great time.
Our 2 crew members that we brought on, the RV Geeks, they are used to small, tiny house living because they live in an RV. So
They
it was
were
very
the easiest
easy.
crew members almost ever.
We're going through a lock! Yay! 3 of them!
It was a lot of fun to have friends on board, but also people who already understood the lifestyle. So it was like just very little explanation needed for that.
And my mom's been on several times, so it was no
Same.
big deal for
I
her.
don't know if I can see a sloth, probably not even a monkey, but maybe a jaguar.
She's always like the party lady. She brings the beer and
She brings the good, best guest ever.
parts,
Yeah.
everything, yeah. Okay guys, when we do something awesome on Curiosity, you know,
We ship ball!
we have to share
All right, so that was the second big milestone of the year. Then the third milestone would have been our sail to Ecuador.
Ecuador, yes. So we brought on an unexpected crew member,
Yep,
and this was probably the most seamless.
transition we've had so far.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
with having a crew or guest or whoever on board. And that would be Kate,
Kate.
our friend Kate. We met her in
In
Panama.
Panama.
Introduce yourself to all of our friends.
Hi, I'm Kate Brand. From South Africa originally, and yeah, I sailed all the way here on our own boat from South Africa.
Thousands and thousands of miles under her belt, a couple long passages, so we thought this would be awesome. She wanted to join us, and yeah, it was a fantastic 7-ish day
Days.
passage.
Hold on, I can actually tell you. So to Ecuador was 6 days, 680 nautical miles. We had pretty good weather other than like one night of storms.
That was right in front of us. Oh man.
Aside from that, it was all pretty pretty much smooth sailing, except for, you know, getting approached at sea and everything else.
Yeah.
That was nerve-wracking, but I don't know. I guess I feel like I look back at the overall passage and think of it as being really, really good.
Yes, definitely. And the sleep. I mean, having somebody on board who you trust to manage and manage the sails and wake us when things are going awry. Like, we slept for 6 hours straight. I mean, that's like...
It was a lot. Oh. I'm pretty sure it was the most Kate's ever slept on passage, and it was the most we've ever slept on passage. So everybody was just really rested and in a good mood. Singa's not in a good mood.
No.
I know. We'll pay attention to you in a minute.
After the video's over. Okay, say hello to everybody. Hello! Okay, now go be quiet.
Yes. He misses Kate.
I love how you guys do things and how you make things special every day. You don't just go into like hibernation mode.
Kate was on board with us for Ecuador, and that was an excellent passage, and it was really stellar to have somebody on board who already knew what they were doing.
And that's where we are in video land right now. Our video world's always a few months behind, and we're in Ecuador about to set sail for another location in Ecuador before we make the big leap, which is our 4th milestone that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Salinas. Bye-bye, Ecuador. We really enjoyed it. French Polynesia.
That was a big one.
Da-da! We did it, honey.
We did do it.
That was long, 25 and a half days.
Yeah. 24 days at sea and over 3,500 nautical miles. French Polynesia was not only our biggest passage, but also the first passage we've really done, long passage, with just the 2 of us, other than our general cruising around the Bahamas.
And we chose to do that because it was a challenge. It's a long sail. We wanted to see if we could do it. I mean, obviously we would have loved the 6 hours of rest, but we wanted to push ourselves.
Yeah, but also we just wanted the experience. It was our first big passage, so we really kind of wanted that just for us.
To have.
Yeah.
And of course we filmed it, so it's for all of you. It's not
You'll
just for
see
us.
all of that coming up very, very soon.
Yeah.
So passage making, that was 3 big passages, 4 big milestones, all in a year, and going from no real passage making to legit passage making.
How's that saying go? One small step for man, one giant leap.
This does not even compare.
Total all that up, we've done over 7,000 miles
just this year
alone.
Just in year 2. So the number 1 thing that we learned about passage making, or I guess that we set out to do and accomplished, was to sail conservatively.
Okay, so in Panama, on the sail down, we had a gust come from behind. 50 knots of wind out of nowhere. Damn good thing we weren't flying Spinnaker.
No. Went from 15 to like 30 to 40 to 45 to almost 50 in just like an instant.
Dark, no moon, you can't see hardly anything, and boom, 40 knots of wind.
Yeah, we had a nice little squall come out of like absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, didn't see it on the radar. So after that, we made a pact, Nikki and I, that we would sail conservatively.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means putting curiosity to bed at night.
Yeah. Because everything always happens at night, inevitably.
Of course.
Every freak storm, everything breaks. It's usually all at night in the dark.
Yes, so putting her to bed, what does that mean? We reef, we sometimes double reef.
Yeah, just depending on conditions and what we think we might see.
Well, the clouds have moved in. I think we got some weather coming our way.
Making sure that everything's stowed, everything's really super tidy. Give ourselves a good head start. So if anything happens, we're kind of already prepared or a step ahead.
And that makes the sail more comfortable. We might slow down a little bit if nothing happens, but I can sleep when she's on watch, and she can sleep when I'm on watch, sort of.
No, it's good. So not only putting curiosity to bed at night, but it's also during the day is if we even think about reefing, if we think something might get caught, like we just go ahead and just take care of things or get ready to reef. I don't know. We're not pushing the boat or ourselves hard at all, especially for the big passage to French Polynesia.
We very much follow our reefing guidelines set by the manufacturer. And we're on the conservative side because it's on the conservative side. Those charts are on the conservative side, and we pretty much start reefing when they say to start reefing. But we're cool with that.
Yeah, we're
It's not a racing boat.
Exactly. It is not a performance boat. We're not going to be setting any sort of records for fastest time. So we do whatever we can to make it, I guess, easy and comfortable on ourselves and very manageable. And I felt like ever since we started doing that, everything has been
better. Good luck. Woo. See you in a few hours.
Bye. Sleep tight.
Yeah, that's right.
So sleeping and watches. In general, we would typically do 3 on, 3 off, but we felt like because this was such a long passage, we wanted a good, solid night's rest. So we tried to do longer watches, and it worked out.
Yeah, and we didn't
really
do
well.
strict. We didn't do strict guidelines because if I'm
didn't even
feeling
set
good,
alarms.
yeah, if I'm feeling good, then I'm just gonna sail for 4 or 5, 6 hours, whatever. And if Nikki's feeling good, same thing.
Yeah.
And if I'm tired, then I'll sleep for 4 or 5 or 6 hours if she's feeling like it's great.
Yeah, or if we only did 2 hours because we were super zonked for whatever reason, you'd just go wake the other person up and be like, sorry, struggling, need you to come up.
It doesn't have to be rigid.
And it worked really well for us. There was only a few times where we really needed to do that, but it worked out well. You weren't sitting at the helm like prying your eyeballs open thinking, oh,
2 more hours. Just
why? Exactly. So it felt like the moment you started to hit that zone where you were feeling like you were going to crash, you just go to bed. So it's really good. Yes.
Weather is another huge deal. Picking the right weather window, looking at the swell, looking at basically all the stuff that predict wind, offers, just taking it all into consideration, because a simple sail that the wind looks good, but the waves are going to hit us beam at 4 meters.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a good sail, and if we can avoid that, then we will.
Yeah, because we found that like sea conditions affect everything. Especially crew morale. So if it's super, super sloppy, it's just everybody's going to be more exhausted. We're more tired. It's just a more difficult day. This doesn't stop. Feels like it's been one continuous storm for, I don't know, like 3 days or something.
For me, I've never gotten seasick on the boat. On this boat, I've never gotten seasick. And in the beginning, I was really worried that I might, because, I don't know, I get woozy on roller coasters, and I don't really get car sick, but like airplanes, small airplanes, when it's hot, I'm like, oh, this does not feel good. So I've never thrown up, never felt seasick. But that said, I'm lethargic sometimes. If the sea's not good, or we're getting hit beam reach and we're making good forward progress and we're just doing this all day, then I'm like, I'm not 100%. I don't feel great. I'd much rather just fly and be there on those days, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell a lie. So yes, it is not my favorite way to travel, to take 30 days in this semi-uncomfortable seas. It's a little truth, all right.
On a long passage, you pick the best window you can and then hope for the best, but that's all you can do. But for the shorter passages, you're never on a hard schedule. And the moment we feel like a schedule nipping at our heels, we try to remind ourselves, like, don't put yourself in a precarious situation because you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Just bad mojo.
Yeah, and so that's me, and Nikki is like stomach of steel. She can pretty much do almost anything. What is going on in here?
It's time for a haircut.
20 whatever days at sea, it's time for a haircut. Couldn't wait one more day.
No? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of trouble at sea as far as getting sick goes or not feeling well. But that doesn't mean that if it's a crappy day, it's
You're
just a
not immune,
crappy day. Like, I'm not immune to getting irritated or sick of it, or even if I am like head down, it's hot, I'm down below, bending over and standing up a lot. Yeah, I can still end up like going, oh, I need to go sit outside for a minute, get some air. So I can see how if you don't feel well and it doesn't go away, that would really suck.
It's a lot of give and take, because I feel bad then if I'm not doing much and she's in there doing all this other stuff. You always have this idea, hey, we're going on this 30-day passage or this 20-day passage, and we're gonna get so much done. I'm gonna edit some video, and I'm gonna do this chore and that chore. Yeah, but no, between fixing the sails and showering and sleeping and eating and cleaning up after like, there's so many things to take you away. So that's why after a 20-day sail, you don't have a video done.
Well, or your boat needs tending to.
Balls all night, trouble all day. That's what we're gonna write a song about today. Hey, hey!
We are hearing a lovely moaning sound coming from the helm.
This entire piece just ripped straight out of the Traveler.
Because our sugar scoops are so low, they consistently get water swept up on top. So we have, I don't know, a whole ecosystem growing here. Crazy! That's crazy!
And it turns out something's wrong with our bilge. Get out of there quick before a wave.
Yeah. All right, I'm clean. I'm blasted. Hopefully that works. At that point, you've been at sea for 20.
man.
Like the bottom's dirty, the top is dirty, everything inside is salty. But even like you can clean all you want,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep up with it. And just existing, living, and sailing is kind of all you really do on passage.
Somehow
And
that all
that's
circles
that.
back around to weather.
Yeah,
I promise it does.
yeah. Well, if it's perfect weather, then you are more productive.
That's true. That's true.
And then we have edited video and we have done things,
Yeah.
but if it's not nice calm seas and perfect days, then it doesn't, hard to do that. I feel like that's the biggest stuff about passage making.
Yeah. Crew versus no crew? Huh?
No? Both.
Both, yeah. Who knows what we're gonna do next? I mean, obviously we've invited some patrons on board for some big meetups in Tahiti, and
Yeah, there are no future plans at this moment.
No.
We're not very good at planning
No.
other than the sails themselves.
But we do know, okay, so the first year was like learning and outfitting and learning. And the second year, of course, learning, but passage making.
Yeah.
And this year, we have the 1 year long stay French Polynesia visa. We're gonna be here for about a year. We're just so looking forward to hopefully not breaking too many things on the boat.
Yeah.
So we can spend a lot of time diving and hiking and swimming and snorkeling and get some sun and wear bikinis and
You're gonna wear a bikini?
board shorts. Spearing and
Enjoying
man.
the lifestyle. It feels like year one was go, 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 learn, learn, learn. Year two is a lot of passage making. We still did a lot of really awesome stuff, but this year feels like it's gonna maybe go slower. I always think that though, and it hasn't happened yet. So who knows? There's still a lot of nautical miles between all of these islands. So we will see.
I think you just repeated everything I said.
I probably did. I'm really good at that.
Happy Sailiversary, honey.
Happy Sailiversary.
Bye, guys. We're gonna watch this, what's left of the sunset.
Yes.
And enjoy our cocktail.
Yeah, but hey, thanks for being a part of our year, our second year as sailors, and sticking with us.
Supporting us
Yeah,
in so many different ways.
it's been a year,
Yeah.
man. Okay. Cheers to you.
Cheers, guys. Cheers to you.